we learned about the definition of federalism and the features of federalism. And now I have come up with this new lesson. It is about what makes India a federal country. So, like you can see on the screen, what makes India a federal country. So we will study how India has become a federal country and what are the features that make India actually a federal country. See, the first thing is the constitution declared India as a union of states. Means constitution के अनुसार India is a union of state. Although it did not use the word federation, the Indian Union is based on the principle of federalism, because India has two sets of two tiers of government. One is at the central level and one is at the state level. Now let us go back to the 7 features of federalism mentioned above. In the last lesson we studied about 5 features actually of the federalism. So we will try to test how India qualifies to become a federal state. Now earlier there were 2 types of government in India, like the central government and the state government. Later a third tier of federalism, a third tier of government was added in the form of the local government, which is the panchayat at the village level and municipalities, all municipal corporations in the cities or big cities. So now we have actually 3 sets of governments: central government, state government, and then the local government. Now the union list. See, the powers of the constitution have been divided among the central level or the state level and then the third level. First is the union list. It includes the subjects of national importance like defense of the country, foreign affairs, banking, communication and currency. These are very important issues and these are concerned with the full nation. So these subjects are in the union list and only the union government or the central government can make laws on these subjects. That means the central legislative, and that is the Parliament of India. Okay. So the Parliament has the power to make laws on the subjects mentioned in the union list. And which are the subjects? Defense, foreign affairs, banking, communication, currency. Okay. Fine. Then number 2 is the state list. State list, as the name suggests, it is the list for the states. The subjects mentioned in this state list are covered by the different state legislative assemblies, or we call them the Vidhan Sabha. Okay. And which are these subjects? Police, trade, commerce, agriculture, irrigation and even education also. Education is in concurrent list where both state and central government can make laws. So now we'll see the third list. Third is the concurrent list. It includes subjects of common interest to both the union as well as the state government. So both the governments can make laws like education, I told you earlier, forest, trade unions, marriages, adoption and succession. So these are the subjects on which both the central government as well as the state government can make laws. Okay, but in case there is a dispute, the law made by the central government will apply. So now, what about subjects that do not fall in the above 3 lists? Like, you know, there will be many subjects which are not covered under either the union list or state list or even the concurrent list. So what will happen? Like we can say the computer technology or the Cyber Act, because these are the subjects which came into being after the constitution was framed. These are very latest subjects. So what will happen, according to our constitution, the union government has the power to make laws on these residuary subjects. So what are residuary subjects? The subjects which are not mentioned in any of the 3 lists. Union list, state list and concurrent list are known as the residuary subjects, and these powers are known as residuary powers. Now another important feature is all states in Indian Union do not have identical powers. That means all the states do not have same powers. Like we can say we have Jammu and Kashmir. Very recently Article 370 has been dropped and Jammu and Kashmir has been turned into 2 union territories. The statehood has been snatched from Jammu and Kashmir, and now Ladakh is a separate union territory, and Jammu and Kashmir is a separate union territory. Earlier, Jammu and Kashmir had its own constitution, and many provisions of the Indian constitutions were not applicable to this state without the approval of the state assembly. So this is also another very good feature. This was done to protect the unique identity of the people of that particular state. Even in northeastern states, also some special powers have been given to the state assemblies. Now, there are some areas which are very small and they could not be made an independent states like Chandigarh or Lakshadweep or Delhi or even Andaman and Nicobar. So these areas are called union territories, and these territories do not have the powers of a state, but the central government has special powers in ruling these areas. So these areas are known as union territories. So that is why the union government rules them and can make laws for these states, these areas. Now, the sharing of power. The parliament cannot make any change to this arrangement. The division of power made by the constitution, it cannot be changed by the Indian parliament alone. Any change to it has to be first passed by both the houses of parliament with at least two-third majority. Two-third majority is equal to 67%, and then it has to be ratified, it has to be approved by at least half of the state Vidhan Sabhas. So it is a very difficult procedure to make any amendment in the constitution in terms of this division of power. Now, the Indian judiciary, like the High Court and Supreme Court, they play a very important part in protecting the constitution. In case of any dispute about the division of powers, the High Court and the Supreme Court can make a decision. The union and state government have the power to raise resources, that is, to raise funds by levying taxes in order to carry on the government and the responsibilities assigned to each of them. So now today we have seen that these are the important features that make India a real federal country where the powers are actually divided between the central government and the state government. So children, I hope you have liked the lesson, and if you want to get more notifications, do like this channel, like this video and subscribe to this channel so that you can receive the notification whenever our next video is uploaded. Thank you very much. Have a good day.